So, I notice a lot of the time people get confused between dissociation without an A and disAssociation with an A. And so they sound a lot the same, but they're actually very, very different. So, dissociation without an A is a trauma response where your brain cuts off access to parts of itself. So, this is useful if you're in active trauma because it helps you survive the trauma. But then it becomes an involuntary thing when you're going through life, and it becomes a major part of post-traumatic stress disorder. So, dissociation varies in type and severity. So, sometimes it can just be like subtle, like not being as good at something as I would normally be, because I get this. Or sometimes it can be just like staring off blankly into space for a few minutes, losing skills, depending on the severity, more or less important skills, staring off for varying amounts of time seeming like it's moving really fast. Some people, like, parts of their body feel like they're not parts of the body. Lots of very weird, like, trippy stuff that honestly makes it a lot harder to function. So that's dissociation, which, people are still trying to figure out how to really cure that. There's like mindfulness and stuff, but it only goes so far. So sometimes like lifestyle modifications become necessary. So like, for example, I had to give up driving because, like, if I'm staring off randomly for a few seconds, like, a lot can happen in a few seconds. So that's dissociation with no A. Now, disAssociation with an A is when you get kicked out of the Jehovah's Witnesses. So, it might seem like, disassociation is like, because the Jehovah's Witnesses, I was never in them, but it seems like they are kind of savage. So when they disassociate a person, like, the person's like permanently shunned, I guess. So even though the words sound very much the same, like, dissociation is an actual trauma response, and disassociation is something that can cause trauma. There's lots of ways you can get trauma, but being disassociated is one. But it is kind of just like, because they're very different. Usually people mean dissociation. It's a more common thing, because the one with the A, disassociation, is like a specific religious context. So that's the difference.